Hi guys, assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. I'm Shazia, you may know me as Brown Girl Does Makeup. Thank you for clicking on my video. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it if you subscribe and give my videos a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and that's if you're enjoying the content. This is part 3 of my eyeshadow declutter series, and I'm staggering it because I'm having to film in intervals, but also eyeshadows is really overwhelming for me because I really love eyeshadows. I may not wear a lot of eyeshadow, but I enjoy looking at them and, you know, playing around when I have the chance. But my collection is overwhelming because for someone who only does this as like a hobby, it's very much so a lot. And as I mentioned in 2023, I wanted 2024 to be like almost a cleansing year. So I wanted to cleanse myself of things that I don't need or don't use anymore, or even things that could be used by someone else that I'm holding on to for, you know, reasons because I'm, you know, sentimental or anything like that. So 2023, I did kind of like decluttered my whole wardrobe, my bag, shoes, accessories, all that stuff. So this year I want to do my makeup, and if you've been watching the series, I'll link the playlist somewhere. I've actually done okay for someone who struggles to let go. I think I'm gonna have maybe one more video of my eyeshadow palettes after this one, and that one I don't think I will declutter much out of because it's my Pat McGrath, Huda Beauty and Natasha Denona collections. But I probably might declutter the ones that I have, you know, like the Too Faced, the Tarte, Elf, you know, things like that when looking at those palettes. So I have a couple of stacks that kind of fit the same color stories in palettes. So I want to have a look at them like I have been and sort of declutter ones that look very similar to one another. This is quite a small one. These are like my purples. And I don't actually have that many purple, even though I do really love purples. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Novena palette is what got me into purples and a bit of pinks. It's not really that purpley actually when you look at the Viseart palette. And this is kind of like the periwinkle blue color scheme from Elf. I'm actually going to declutter this because even though there's a bit of a dip in that shadow, and this one as well, I actually don't really use these colors often, and I've kept some palettes in my last video that have like blues and greens that I feel like I could try and get use out of. And so nearly all my Elf palettes are going into the declutter, and these two I won't be decluttering because I love the formulas and they're quite different to one another. So, you know, this one's it has an array of depth, whereas this one's quite light compared to the Viseart one. So I'll be keeping both of those. I forgot to put this one in that category as well because it's got quite a few purples, but I won't be getting rid of it because I do love the Viseart Dark Edit palette too. It has a space in my collection. So these are kind of like my grungy palettes with the greens and golds and stuff. This Colour Rain Safari Rain is my favorite green palette story. It's like, it's got every shade you could want, and the metallics are beautiful. You can see I have got a bit of a dip in some of the shades already, but I really love this sort of color story. I do really like this Elf one, but as you can see, these colors kind of are very similar, and this gold I kind of have in my Pat McGrath palettes as well. And then I've got this green here, which is very similar. This one's a little bit deeper though. And these greens, I mean, these greens are different to the ones I have in these palettes, but I don't think I will miss it much if I didn't have it. So I think I'm just going to get rid of that Elf one and keep the other three because I do really enjoy the other three. I feel like I can get more different looks with the other three than the Elf one, because obviously the Elf one is a small palette and it's only got the 4 shades. So I'm going to keep these and declutter this one. So these palettes are kind of like the colourful ones that I have in my collection. They're the ones that have the bright punchy colors and also the orangey muted colors too. And I think I decluttered my Tarte palette that had the blue in it, so I'm going to keep this one for sure. And I really enjoy these sort of metallics. They're very stunning, even though I don't use them that often. In terms of, so this Viseart palette is not as punchy as these colors, especially in like the sleek palette over there. That one's really beautiful and the formula isn't that bad, to be fair. It's actually quite a good formula, but I gravitate more to this sort of color, this sort of style of color. And also, as you can see here, I do have some of those colors repeated in the Juvia's Place palette. Now I'm thinking whether I should just get rid of this one, because although I really like it, I feel like these colors are very similar. To the ones in all these palettes, and also in my other palettes too. So if I wanted to create a rainbow look, I could always just pull out a couple of palettes. Even though I don't do that, I don't necessarily need a rainbow palette. So I'm thinking I might just get rid of this one because I have too many and I need to reduce. So yeah, this is going to be decluttered. So this Anastasia Beverly Hills Elisa Edwards palette, I really enjoy it, and the only shade I probably wouldn't use often is the black and the blue, because I don't really use that too much in looks, but the rest of it I would use, so I'm quite happy to keep that. The sleek one I am going to declutter because I do have these colors in the Juvia's Place palettes and in the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, so I don't need more of the same, to be fair. So yeah, I'm going to declutter this one too. So this color story I think I have the most of, and I do know I have it in the Huda Beauty palettes and Natasha Denona palettes and the Pat McGrath palette. So this one I need to be strict on and really declutter, but I see so many beautiful palettes and I actually don't really want to declutter a lot of them, but I know I should. So I'm going to begin with the ones that I don't mind parting away with, which is the e.l.f. mini ones and this Wet n Wild one that I've only swatched, I haven't even used. So I'm going to part ways with those. And then I think because I got rid of the gingerbread, what is it called? Gingerbread spicy palette, I might get rid of this one too, because I have so many, you know, and although this formula is really nice, I'm gonna just part ways with it. It's fine. So that leaves me with all these ones. So my Charlotte Tilbury ones I'm definitely not parting way with. I have so much eyeshadow at the bottom, it's just making such a mess. So those are gonna go there. This NARS one I really enjoy, so I'm not gonna part ways with that. And I'm keeping all my Anastasia Beverly Hills, so Modern Renaissance is staying, and Viseart is staying, and this one too. So that leaves these ones. Now, I used to love watching Tati Beauty, but I think I mentioned in a couple of videos already that I've stopped watching YouTubers because a lot of them still promote like unethical brands, and I think we're at a place where it's really easy to find out where brands lie. So, you know, promoting non-ethical brands to me is a no-no, and I know I have a lot, and this is my past collection before I knew the truth. So for me, that's why I'm doing this whole cleansing kind of thing. So I don't really watch Tati or a lot of other YouTubers I used to watch, and to be fair, I'm okay with that, and it's quite nice because it's given me back some time too. Like, I used to watch them in the background when I was doing stuff, but even now I can't really watch stuff in the background because I'm always listening out for Eliza, or like if my husband needs me to help with something. So I don't really watch anything. I tend to just be listening to what's going on in my surroundings more than anything, which has freed up a lot of time for me to do other stuff as well and spend a lot more time, you know, playing with Eliza and stuff. So that's good for me. You know, saying that, I won't get rid of this palette because it has a lot of memories for me, so I don't really want to get rid of it. But also there's so many different textures, and obviously like you can create so many different looks with this, that to be honest, I could really and truly get rid of everything and all my neutral palettes as well and just have this one because it has everything in one palette. But I won't do that because I do like my makeup, and I am a bit of a hoarder too, if you haven't noticed. I won't get rid of it, and I won't get rid of the others, but I will, and I hope to use it. To be fair, I really do hope to use it. So that leaves me with these ones, and honestly I think I'm only going to keep the Milani and the Tarte, and I'm going to get rid of the Urban Decay cherry, yeah, the cherry palette, because as you can see I have so many of these sort of colors and I don't really need to keep more. And then also this one is the same story, and this one too. I've got so many of these colors, I don't need to keep them. So in this bunch I have 31 palettes. I'm actually decluttering 10 and I'm keeping 21, which is still a lot, but in all honesty I can't declutter any more than this. So the next bunch will be my Pat McGrath Huda Beauty and Natasha Denona palettes, which will be the hardest ones for me to do. And also if I do see things that are very similar to the ones that I am keeping, I'm going to potentially declutter the ones that I don't hold as much value to. So I definitely am going to keep my Pat McGrath and Huda Beauty no matter what. My Natasha Denona ones I'm a bit up and down with because obviously I don't support her anymore, but I have dropped a lot of money on those palettes, and I have dropped a lot of money on all my palettes. So to be fair, I've struggled with getting rid of them, but as you can see I do have so many, so I do need to get rid, but that's for tomorrow's problem. And on that note, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.